Hi, this is Nat Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, June 24th, 2019. Looking at fire potential impacts over the next few days, we will see winds begin to increase today, and they will increase further through Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be looking at relative humidities in the 7 to 15% range, along with dry fine fuels in the orange shaded areas. We will also see some isolated showers and thunderstorms over eastern Idaho and Wyoming today and Tuesday. Over the past 24 hours, there was not much in the way of precipitation across the Great Basin and no lightning reported. Fire activity continues to be light across the Great Basin with no large fires. Precipitation is below normal across much of the Great Basin. Things have really dried out across southwestern Idaho and most of Nevada. And if you look back at the past 14 days, you can see it's been even drier across those areas. ERCs are still generally below the 50th percentile across the entire Great Basin. That is not the case across northwestern Nevada and parts of southern Idaho, where ERC percentiles are beginning to climb up into that yellow category. Continuing to look at ERCs, you can see that they have been trending upwards, as is normal for the time of year. GB8 in southeastern Idaho is just now approaching normal levels. GB24 in southern Nevada is below normal. So continuing to look at fuels, you can see the fine fuels are the driest across southern Nevada and into the Arizona Strip, and a little more moist heading north into the Great Basin. However, if you look at the soil moisture anomaly, which is also another way to gauge how dry conditions are, you can see that conditions are still quite dry across southwestern Idaho and northern Nevada. The satellite this morning shows a pretty clear, uneventful day across the Great Basin. We are looking at a low-pressure system in the Pacific Northwest that will impact us later this week. For today, again, you can see that zonal westerly flow in place across the Great Basin. There is some moisture overhead that will result in scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, mainly accompanied by wetting rain. Looking at today in a little more detail, you can see higher relative humidities expected across the northern part of the Great Basin, with single-digit relative humidities possible across the south. Winds will generally be below 20 miles an hour across the area this afternoon. As we move into Monday, we start to see, or Tuesday, as we move into Tuesday, we start to see winds increase across the area as that low pressure system begins to make its way towards the area. We do see our first area going brown in our significant fire potential forecast on Tuesday, and that's with those low relative humidities, gusty winds, and warmer temperatures. Looking at Tuesday in a little more detail, you can see those winds beginning to increase across the south and western portions of the Great Basin, along with pretty low relative humidities. So moving to Wednesday, that storm system just slowly makes its way to the south. Winds will continue to increase ahead of this low pressure system, and we do have a high risk out for winds on Wednesday across the southern part of the Great Basin. Looking at that in more detail, again, you can see those gusty winds in the forecast across the central and southern portions of the Great Basin that will be accompanied by that single-digit relative humidity. Moving into Thursday, we continue with that really windy and dry pattern, especially across the south, as an unseasonably cool weather system makes its way through the northern part of the Great Basin. On Friday, that system continues to remain in place. We will continue to see dry and windy conditions, especially across the southern part of the area on Friday. And that pattern stays largely in place through Saturday with dry and windy conditions across the south. As we look at Sunday, we start to see winds decrease a little bit as high pressure starts to build across the area, though we will stay quite dry. In the 7-day period, we are not expecting much in the way of precipitation at all. You can see very dry 7 days forecast across the Great Basin. Finally, the 8 to 14-day outlook. The Climate Prediction Center is calling for those dry conditions to continue. Typically, this is the time of the year where we would start to see the monsoon nosing into the southern part of the Great Basin, but with this unusual weather pattern we're in, the monsoon looks like it will not be making its way into the Great Basin as normally expected. We will see above normal temperatures across the northern part of the area, and this is going through the first week of July. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thank you.